What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're in the full swing now of the NBA playoffs. So there's a reduced player pool going on with only 4 teams left in the playoffs. Let's jump into my lineups. Let's not waste any time. Quick bit of housekeeping. If you aren't subscribed to the channel and you're loving the Sorare content that we're doing, on the NBA side, we might have some MLB stuff and maybe football stuff coming too as well. But if you're liking it in general, please hit the subscribe button. It would help us out more than you could possibly imagine, and leave a like on this video. Let's take a look at my lineups now for the conference finals of the NBA playoffs. So as ever, with common pickup, if I do win a limited card in this competition, I'll be giving it away to one of you guys. All you have to do is make sure you're subscribed here to the channel at the Swingman podcast, leave a like on the video, and comment your Sorare handle down below. We've got 4 teams left. I want to know who's going through out of the Lakers v the Nuggets and who's going through out of Miami v Boston. Are Miami going to pull off yet another upset? That's what I want to know. Leave that down below. Make sure you're subbed. And if I win a card, I'll be giving it away. In terms of my lineup that I'm going to be picking in for this team, it's a no-brainer in terms of the MVP, I think, this one. I'm going to go for Jokic. AD's probably the worst matchup that Jokic could have in the playoffs, but I still think he's going to get his buckets. He's still going to get his assists and rebounds, probably averaging that triple-double. I mean, he's looking at 70 points every time, and this is even before the bonuses that you're getting on top of him. So if I had a Jokic, it's the one thing I wish I'd have bought on the limited or rare side, but if I had a Jokic, I'd be playing him. Unfortunately, wasn't the case, but we've got him in common pickup in any case. Moving on down, I'm going to go with LeBron James. Bit of a different role so far with him at the Lakers, but in these conference finals times now, I'm suspecting he's going to kick into gear. I know it says that he's a day-to-day, but I'll be surprised if he's not playing. At 47 as well, I see him having one of those sort of monster LeBron games in this series especially. I wouldn't say he's been quiet, but he's not been what, you know, LeBron has been in the playoffs in this new role, but I'm still... There's still a lot of LeBron still to come. Next up, where was we? Austin Reeves is where I believe I was going next, if I remember rightly. Yeah, we're going to go Austin Reeves at 27. Been phenomenal for the Lakers in this playoff run right now, and I would fully expect him to continue this form. At 27, there's a few people. I could go Aaron Gordon is the other one, and I do like Aaron Gordon at 26 this week because I suspect he'll get a bump in numbers, especially if Jared Vanderbilt's on him. And I think the Nuggets are going to need more than just a Jokic Murray 1-2 punch against the Lakers. I think they're going to need a guy like Aaron Gordon, your Bruce Browns, your KCPs to step up a bit more. So at the minute, do you know what? Actually, I'm going to change it. I'm going to go to Aaron Gordon over Austin Reeves. I think Austin Reeves and Aaron Gordon are the best in this sort of realm around the high 20 marks. Kyle Lowry's not bad at 24, but for me, Aaron Gordon will be the pick, or AR15. You can have whatever one that you've got for it. If I go down a bit more, Caleb Martin is going to be a guy that I'm picking here, which then leaves me 27. Did I have Aaron Gordon in? I may have had Aaron Gordon in anyway. But in any case, if I go for Caleb Martin, it can give me Austin Reeves anyway. So actually, I'm going to run with this. I think Caleb Martin, I've picked him pretty much throughout the entirety of the playoffs. I think as that low budget guy through this series and through any of them, at 20, he's been the one that's been getting more and more court time for the Heat because they found he's more and more important to be playing in these matchups. Sure, he can absolutely have a 7-pointer and a 5-pointer. But across each of the series he's played, he's had one of those sort of 30-odd point games. And that's all you can kind of hope for, especially in the playoffs now where there's such a finite amount of players in this pool left. You're really trying to find those L10 budget cap guys. And you could go for a Duncan Robinson and gamble that he gets really hot. But at the moment, I'd rather stick and play safe and just slowly accrue more of those points throughout the competition as we round up on the NBA playoffs. So then for limited contender in the Swingman Sorare Society League, Chicken Frig or Chick Freak is one this week. I'm not sure how that's meant to be pronounced, but if I butchered it, I butchered it. KD54 and Alondes Williams 0 point. I'm not sure if that has he got an L10 or 0. He may have an L10, a really low L10, which has then meant you could play Campaign, Jalen Brunson, and Jock Landau in there. In any case, little smart strategy there. You won yourself a Kevin Love. If you're watching the video, shoot me a DM on my Twitter, which is like here somewhere. And we'll get the Kevin Love sent over to you for it. This week's prize I'll announce at the end of the video. And if you're not a member of the Swingman Sorare Society and you're watching this video, what you're doing, it's completely free to do. Whoever wins limited contender throughout each week of the playoffs, I've been giving away a limited card. It's not going to change this week. I'm still going to do that. And also for the NBA finals, I'll be giving away another card as well. So make sure you join. The link's in the description down below. All you have to do is be sub to the channel to enter as well. Easy as pie. Let's have a look at my lineup though for limited contender. And you might see as well, there isn't a limited champion lineup, and I'll explain that as well. There's no limited champion lineup for me this week because simply my limited champion team was a Sixers stack, maybe with like an Aaron Gordon or someone else thrown in. But the Sixers getting bounced by the Celtics, it was a gamble. I didn't have a deep enough limited roster that was good enough to play champion. I didn't want to go out and invest in a lot of Celtics guys because I do think the Celtics are going to get through. I know Miami have sort of beat off every single underdog story in each round, but I do think the Celtics are going to have a bit too much for them. I don't want to go out and pay inflated prices for the Celtics guys on the limited side when I need to buy a full limited champion team. And also on the credit side of which, where the playoffs are being sort of how many credits you've got for how many points you've got. Limited champion's my worst one. I'm up there in rare champion. I'm like 110th. Rare contender, I'm on the cusp. Pickup, I'm on the cusp. And limited contender on the cusp. But I'm like 150 off on limited champion. So I'm going to leave limited champion now until the start of the next season. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm still playing limited contender, rare contender, and rare champion and pickup. But yeah, there will be no more limited champion from me. In any case, my limited contender lineup this week, I'm not going to go through and build it because these are the cards that I have for this. And it fit perfectly. I did go out to go and pick up one guy, but I bought the Bam Adebayo last week. I'm going to play him again at 35 this week. He should have the matchup on Boston, but we haven't seen it from Bam this season, or in the playoffs in any case. So who knows? But if Miami have any chance of getting through, they're going to need a few other guys to step up alongside what we expect Jimmy Butler to do of dominating their offense and so on and so forth. But Bam Adebayo's there. I've got my Aaron Gordon that I had before the playoffs, the Robert Williams that I bought the other week against the Sixers, a Jared Vanderbilt that I had before, and then a Jeff Green that I picked up because even though he's got an L10 of 10, he's been seeing some minutes, not loads, and in the garbage time minutes of games and stuff like that, he's coming on as sort of another second unit guy. So with an L10 of 10, he allowed me to play the rest of these four guys here that should all get good minutes. And if Jeff Green gets a 20, we celebrate because he's doubled his L10 in a conference finals of a playoffs. Of an L10 of 10, you can't really expect too much more than that. So that's my limited contender team. I want to see everyone throw their limited contender teams together with the right end of the playoffs now. Not at the finals, but it's getting tough out here to build those teams. Rare contender, actually, I've gone out and picked up a couple of guys to make sure that I get a lineup that's good enough that I can compete in this. Now, I was going to go down the two routes. You've seen me for all of the playoffs run Ish Smith as my fourth guy and then play four decent options for rare contender. I've gone away from that, primarily because I could do it this way. I could have put Ish Smith in and then gone out and picked up Jamal Murray, and then instead of playing Gabe Vincent, play Sam Hauser, and then put a Jamal Murray in here and maybe swap Brogdon out for someone else. I didn't do that, primarily because as well, when I was looking at this team and who I've got here to play, whoever's going through, I want to try and have the best rare champion team that I can have possible going into the NBA finals. That was my sort of aim. That's how I want to think of things, and to do this was giving me a few more options to come through essentially. So in doing this, I've got Malcolm Brogdon at 28. I don't think he's going to hit a 28. He might hit a 30s, but it all depends on how he's going to be doing in any case across the next few games of this series. We've seen in the Sixers, he wasn't as important, I'd say, to the Celtics as he has been, but the Heat series is going to be completely different. So I suspect you'll see Jason Tatum being marked out of the game quite a lot by Jimmy Butler. If Jimmy can do it on both ends, I'm not too sure. But I think Derek White and Malcolm Brogdon are going to be more proficient in this series than they were in the last, is how I would see things. I went out and picked up a Bruce Brown, the first one of which, primarily because I only had Aaron Gordon from the Nuggets. And I can't call, I think any of the four teams now, it's quite hard to predict. I do think the Celtics will beat the Heat, but I think Nuggets-Lakers is genuinely really, really tough to call. So I did want to pick up another Nuggets guy that meant if they do go through, I've got another bit of coverage in Rare Champion for the next round if it happens. Bruce Brown's one of the guys that I picked up. Easy peasy. Gabe Vincent, 21, also picked him up. I think the thing is as well is Bruce Brown and Gabe Vincent, and also Jared Vanderbilt, who you can see are the three guys I picked up for Rare Contender here. They were all at really good prices in terms of what they've been throughout the regular season. Bruce Brown was £34, Gabe Vincent was 20 quid, Jared Vanderbilt was 20 quid. All of these cards were way more expensive at the start of the playoffs. So what I think has happened is that guys have obviously, you buy, when the hype happens, the cards are going to go up more than when it actually happens. This is in any market on any of these type of games that's ever happened before. But I think what's happened is people have got these cards and now can't field Rare Contender teams or Rare Champion teams, or perhaps they've got too many and they're not using them. It's another alternative that they're then just selling them off. And there's so many people that can't put lineups out because they haven't got a full stack of 5 rare cards or a full stack of 5 good rare cards to play, that they're then just selling them off. And then it's creating that sort of how many people are still buying and depending on how many are still selling. And there's that disparity that's going on. But in any case, I could take advantage of it. Bruce Brown was 30 quid. He was way more than that for the regular season. A rare Bruce Brown at points was sort of 70 to 100 pounds at times. Gabe Vincent was more than double 40, like the 20 quid I paid. He was around the 40 marks. And Jared Vanderbilt fluctuated quite a lot from his move in the offseason anyway. But this is arguably, quite funnily, my strongest Rare Contender lineup that I've had. And we're in the conference finals now. So look, if all of these guys hit around their L10, I'm not expecting to hit a reward because the reward pool has been quite drastically cut in the playoffs now. It's really, really tough to win a reward in that particular game week. But at the moment, I'm just still trying to accrue the points. I know there's a whole thing on the prize pool that got announced, but I want to see how many I can get and see what I can get at the end of it. I've been playing Sorare NBA the entire year. I want to see what I can get at the end of the playoffs and see what's what. So yeah, that's my Rare Contender lineup, and hopefully it does pretty well this week. And then finally, my Rare Champion lineup, my Jimmy Butler, who I was not expecting to get this far in the NBA playoffs. No one was, especially when they had the Bucks in the first round. He can be my MVP. At 49, it's very high, but Jimmy Butler has been phenomenal in these NBA playoffs so far, so I'm not going to bet against him, even though I do think the Celtics will go through. Jaylen Brown, an L10 of 38, is really good value for how good of a card and how good of a player Jaylen Brown is this season. 38, he's been a little bit more quiet in the playoffs, especially in that series against the Sixers, but I'm expecting him to have at least one game where he goes above the 38 mark. Same thing for Marcus Smart. 31's a bit too much of a stretch, but he's got those sort of really high block steal games in him with a couple assists and 15 to 20 points. So again, 31 should be doable. I've already mentioned Aaron Gordon. I do think 26 is on the medium end for him, but look, like I've said, I think that the Nuggets are going to need a bit more than a Jokic Murray 1-2 punch against the Lakers, and that's where you'd expect Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon to step up. And then last but not least is KCP. Now, there is the argument I could potentially swap KCP and Bruce Brown out and put Bruce Brown in this Rare Champion lineup. I have the cap space, and obviously putting in a lower L10 guy wouldn't affect it in Contender. The issue is that KCP, Bruce Brown will get you 30 minutes normally a night, and so will KCP. It just depends on what one catches heat is the only thing. And I quite like the idea of KCP against the Lakers for obvious reasons over a Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown's arguably a much better offensive player and should see more offensive share of the ball. And if I see that Jamal Murray is ruled out for the first game against the Lakers, I might swap them. But for the time being, I'll go KCP. But let me know, who would you put in your Red Champion lineup? If you had this, should I play KCP or should I play Bruce Brown? Bruce Brown? Let me know in the comments down below. So yeah, quick update on this one as well. As you can see in Red Champion, we currently sit 112th out of 2,348 people on 1,440 points. If we go down to where we are here, we're 30 points away from the next bump in credits and 53 points away from the bigger bump. So again, this is all on if one of the main guys, if Jaylen Brown has one of those series and Jason Tatum isn't quite as big, if Jaylen Brown is the guy this series, then that could really bump me up. So, but at the moment, I just want to keep ticking away and going at it. Rare Contender champion obviously mentioned I'm dipping out of, but pick up Rare Contender and Limited Contender. As you can see, I'm 807th in the side of the top 2,000. What does pickup pay? Top 100, so 1,300. Again, I'm 78 points off that. Contender, what pays it? I'm on 683 and it's 776. So yeah, 80 points again. If I can keep putting consistent lineups, that's my sort of play. That's how I can hope that I can get myself in there, because people are now going to be falling away, not having full lineups, potentially not willing to go out and buy cards. So my play is to try and just keep chipping away at 5-card lineups and get myself into contention. Like I mentioned in the video anyway, I really like Jeff Green as a pick this week. If the Nuggets get through and they beat the Lakers, he's going to be pivotal in any case for that sort of second unit role. Pivotal is maybe a bit of a strong word for Jeff Green, but you know, he's a nice little piece to have if you're playing limited Contender 2. He'll be a nice piece definitely to have. Again, whoever wins it will get the card for free. It's what it is. But yeah, that's going to wrap that one up there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. Don't forget to leave your comments down below for who I should play in my rare champion team, and also for the pickup team if I do win a limited card to get involved and win that. Enjoy the rest of these NBA playoffs. The latest podcast will be probably coming up down below or on the screen somewhere here. So if you could check that out, it would mean a lot to me. And I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.